The training starting early. I'm helping Jordyn. We're gonna take this apart. It needs a new power supply because it's busted on the back end, which happens all the time. See, broken. So, okay, first lesson, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So, a clock goes counterclockwise and clockwise.
Oh, this way.
So, righty-tighty means if you move clockwise or right, if you move this way, that way, that's righty-tighty, that's tighten. We want to loosen, so we need to go left or the other direction. Over. Start these. Go ahead and undo that. Same thing for this. Ready? Hear that?
Yeah.
Click. That's a good click. I'm just going to lift it up. Watch out for this spring. It does come out. So lift that up. There you go. Keep those together with the spring, and we'll just set it right over here. Okay, grab that spring. Okay. Next, we're going to take this guy out. So you got to be careful with ribbon cables because they're touchy. We're just going to pull that out, set it to the side. Next, we have to do all the screws around here. Take them out. Okay? There's that screw, Hold it tight. It'll get away from you. Use two hands. There you go. Okay, perfect. Make sure, don't lift it too high up. Right over here. Don't lift it too high up because sometimes it falls and then we'll lose it to the ground. Okay, before you do that, get it in there. Before you press the button. This is that one. Not right now. That one. This one's a longer one. Keep on. Okay, that's out. Put that right there. Then we got one right there. Nope. There we go. Is that loose? Can you pull it out? Let's put it with the other one. Turn it around. We got some more right here. We got one here, one here, one, and two there. Okay. Okay. There you go. Okay. Go ahead. Good job. And we'll just pull this out like so. Keep those screwdrivers right in there. We don't need to lose them or take them out. And then we got to get that silver one and that silver one out. That was the last one. Well, there's more, but okay. Are you paying attention to the screw sizes and where they're supposed to go? Do you notice that one's a long one? So they're different screw sizes. You got to pay attention where they go. Do you remember which one goes where? Really? There it is. Go. Okay. Nope, still in there. Okay. Well, let's take a look. I think all the screws are out of here, so we should just be able to grab it like this and lift up. You want to do it? Boom! Okay, we don't need this anymore, like it said over here.
There's one more screw right
There's a couple more screws on this thing right here, which acts as a sink and a shield. So we're going to take that off for the cover. And there's all of our chips. And the great thing about this is, what? Did you break this? You broke it. You're fixing it, not me. You have to tell the customer now.
No.
That's supposed to do that. This is called the 32 pin for the Super Nintendo. connects to this little connector. Some of them come off, some of them don't.
What are these?
What is that?
Yeah.
We're not there yet. So now we need to take off that screw right there. You go the right way. Get it in there. Hold it. Gotta get it tight. All right. Now this screw we're gonna put right over here. So what that did is this little, it's like a power MOSFET, is now disconnected from us because this thing gets really hot. And what it does is when you push it in here, it transfers that heat to this metal thing and it dissipates it so it's not as hot. So next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws right there. Hold it tight. They're tight. 2 hands. Hold it. There we go. Perfect. 1 screw. Hold it. There you go. 2 screw. What number screw is that?
3. Number 4.
This is number 4. Four.
And 5.
And 5.
And 6.
And 6. Nice. Is that out? Nope. Alright. And 6. And that should be all the screws. And boop! That just falls off, like so. So now we are at the point where I need to take over now. And so we will be replacing this power port right here. But to do that, we have to desolder these points right here. And you're going to replace it with this. Okay. So I'm going to do that portion really quick. It's a Super Nintendo kind of day. There's our new power support, or power plug. And then we have our soldering iron. There's a couple different techniques you can do to get this out. I'm just gonna go for it. It is steamy, yeah. It's hot, it's very hot. So I'm just heating up both sides of the power so I can slowly get it out without ruining anything else. Oop. Oop. But it's a little difficult because the way they designed it, it goes around the RF plug and the AV. So sometimes those could be the challenge. So I'm just hitting those. Boop. Boop. There's our old bad plug in the trash. Here's our new good plug. Now, this is the fun part. You have to make sure the plastic goes underneath all this, or this one. This one goes over, this one goes under, this one goes under. Now, we gotta line up these feet, and then we're gonna kind of hopefully put them back in. Nice and easy. There we go. go. And we're gonna put some new solder in there. I'm gonna clean up my mess really quick. All right, let's clean our mess up. Some old flux that was on here prior because I didn't put any flux on here. The Super Nintendos are known to have a bunch of flux left over from the original. Doesn't really affect it, but all right. I'm just gonna make sure that's soldered in really well. There we go. It's a good solder. Okay. So now I'm going to kind of put it back together. So I'm going to put this guy on. We're going to put this guy on. We're going to put this guy back on. Now, at this point, this system can be tested. We're still going to clean the rest of this off, but follow me. Let's go see if we broke it anymore. Okay, I've got a power supply still plugged in. Boop, power supply, AV. Game. We need a power switch. Do you remember what the power switch looked like?
Yeah.
All right, you got it? Oh, let's plug it back in. You want to hit the switch?
Mm-hmm.
See if it powers on. We got a red light. You broke it. I'm going to clean this right here. Take this off, get some isopropyl alcohol, put some RE in here, dust it off, clean it up. There's isopropyl alcohol on this brush. Clean these, clean the innards of this. Make sure everything's lined up. Okay. You want to hit the power supply? Hit the power button.
This?
Yep. Power and game. Nice job. You fixed it. Now put it back together. You said you knew which screws go where, right? All right. Where are you going? You need this. Change that out. And now we got to put it back together. And hopefully when we put it back together with all the screws, it turns on and it works again. Right? Do first. What was the last thing we did? Thought you knew where everything went, how it went. You took it apart. What was the last thing we did?
Cleaned it?
Correct. What was the second to last thing we did?
We checked if it worked.
Correct. What we're going to do, we're going to throw away the old one. That's broken. We don't want it. We need to clean the bottom of this. It's a little dusty. So we're going to grab a brush and brush this out, because we always clean while we're in it already. There's no reason not to. Look at this. Look at all that stuff in there. Down there. Get it out. Brush it. Brush it good. You know what? Watch this. Just be careful. Look at that dust bunny. Look at that dust bunny. That's from... Wow, that dust bunny's probably been there for years. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, look at all that. There you go. Brush it out. Get it. Get it. You know what's a good technique? Go like this. Clean this out. Now we need to get that back into here. But before we do that, we need to put something back on here. Do you remember what it is? Remember how that went on? Close. So it went on like this. But we had to screw on the bottom, remember? So, first thing we need to do is clean it. Yes, so we need to put those screws back in here. Do you remember which ones go where?
I remember this one goes right here.
No. So all the screws go here. I'll line up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 6. So you need to make sure you get all 6 of them back in there. This one goes here. So this one we're no longer loosening, we're tightening. So when it comes to tightening, I'm gonna take this away from you. Because when it comes to tightening, I don't like to use this because it's really hard to tell how tight you're getting something. And usually when you want to put it back together, you don't need to get it super tight. And a screwdriver. There we go, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The silver one goes up here, not here. So now, this is almost done, except we need to put this back on. Now before we do this, I like to add something in here. You don't need it, it's not mandatory. What I like to do is I like to add a little thermal paste. It makes a better connection for the heat to transfer from. It's not necessary, it's just something I like to do. So, whoa. Good. Put a little thermal paste on there. Put that on there, and then we'll grab the screw, which is this tiny one with a washer on it. Tighten it back up. And that will make a better thermal connection right there. And then this is ready to go back here. And all the screws and all the covers going back on. You ready? First, let's put this cover back on so we don't forget it. And then, before we put this on, we need to put these back screws on, right? Because that was one of the ones we took off. Here's your screwdriver. And I'll give you the back screws. Because do you remember what the back screws are? Do you know what color they are? So this back screw is a silver one. Goes right there. Yep. Magnetize it. Like I said, sometimes it doesn't magnetize. So sometimes now I can get it in there a little bit. Let's see if I can. Oh, hold on. See if I can get this magnetized a bit more. Upside down. We don't want it to go that way. All right. Next, tweezers. Your tiny fingers, your fat fingers can't reach. Tweezer. That means we can tweezer it in. Slide it in there. Boop. We'll get another one. Do it on this side. Right there. Boop. And then there's one of these guys. Go right there.
And one of ones go right there.
I mean, there is a hole for something to go in there, but it's not one of those. So, tighten them in. So remember, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. There you go, keep righty-tighty. There we go. So watch it go down. Now you could just make these nice and snug right when it's a little tight. Let me see. Perfect. You don't want to go too much or you're going to break the plastic. Now we go to the next one. And this is why we're using a screwdriver for putting it back together instead of our power screwdriver, because that thing's a little too powerful and it could break the plastic, and we don't want that to happen. Perfect. Next one. There we go. Now you're using the right technique. Nice and snug. So nice and snug. We don't want it to be loose. I like to do. Yep. Just 2 finger snugs. Next, all the screws that went in here, 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 here.
These ones?
Yep. You can go ahead and put them back in. These ones are magnetized. Go ahead and put it right in there. There we go, easy. All right. You lost it. Okay. Magnet's a little weak. Hurry this up. I'll put the screws back in there. Right there.
This won't go all the way down.
Oh, well. It needs a little more strength. There we go. There you go. Push this down a little bit with your fingers and then keep twisting. All right. Let's see. Nice. Here, take over. Nice. Okay. Next, we've still got some more to put in here. Boop.
Which are these ones?
Which ones?
These ones.
These ones? Nope. These ones are the security bits. Do you remember where the security bits go?
They go on
the bottom, right? So we don't have to take those out. That's not part of the fix. So these long ones are similar to the ones that we put back here, but they go right here where this connector piece is. The 2 silver ones go right there. Go ahead.
This one?
Nope, tighten that and that. So this tightens this cartridge slot down into the board. Makes it snug so you can't lift this whole thing up. There we go. Now it's attached. Everything's attached. Next we got 1, 2, 3 screws. 4. So we got 4 more screws. 2 of them go right here. For what?
4 of them go right there.
2 of them go right there for the power switch. And then 2 of them go right here for this sound module. So we're going to put the sound module back. Oop. power plug in. What, Jordyn? Can you go where? Do you want to help? Oh, okay. Now we got the power switch plugged back in, and we need the 2 screws that go here and here. So here's one.
But that one's not.
Goes there and there. Tighten them down. So remember these 2 and these 2. Righty tighty. There we go. So it's easier if you get right above it too and keep it straight. Screwdriver. Go ahead. Again. Keep it straight. And we got 2 more, one here and one there. And instead of trying to reach, we'll flip it around so you can get to it easier. Is it in there yet? Hold on. Mm-hmm. Now how you're doing well and you're putting screws in? They're disappearing and well, we're out of screws. That means we have them all in for one. And they're all
right there.
Nope, not yet. Okay, I'm gonna take a look. Nice and snug. All right, we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws left. And then we're almost all done. So there was only 6 screws to begin with, remember? Yeah? So what do we do next? There's like 2 more things before we can put that lid on. Correct. So we need to get that back on. This one's a little tricky to get on. So we can't lose the spring, and this needs to go through the hole. See that hole on that side? It goes all the way through. It's supposed to come out. So you notice it's not in the hole?
Mm-hmm.
So we got to put it in the hole. And then this has 2 different little lengths of legs, right? So one leg goes, the small leg goes down.
And the big one goes up.
The big one goes up, so there's a latch right here. Sorry, I was wrong. The little leg goes up, the big leg goes down. The arm latches right here, and the big arm latches down here. There's a tiny hole right there. On that side, you see that tiny hole right there?
Mm-hmm.
So that leg needs to go in here, and this could be a little tricky to get into. So, you want to hold that. I'll do this. So, I like to get, before I put the top one in, I like to get the bottom one in, put it in there, line it up with the hole, put the bar through, put that technique, and then I'll grab the tiny one and just move it to the side and back into the slot. And that makes it a lot easier. Now, to tighten this a little bit, sometimes what you can do instead of that little hole right here, you can actually, you could put it in this slot right here. Let me show you. Back up. Sometimes, let's take it out. If you want it a little bit tighter, okay, So that was just a little bit stronger. That's where I like to put it. So the problem is now you started with this, we got to put this in, right? What do you think? Can we do it with the thingy in the way? Yeah? Really? It'd probably be easier if it wasn't in the way, right? So let's take this out. And let's put this back in. Now remember, so on these, the power button always goes over here on the left-hand side. Hold on. The power button, or the power light, always goes on the left-hand side. There's a little hole for it. So that means you know the ribbon cable's going the right way. And then you slide it, you line it up. Now you don't want to go too hard on these. You just push it down like so. Not too hard, nice and easy. These ones are probably the one things that can tear and break. Now we're gonna put that back in. We're almost done. We got all the parts and pieces. Now we got to put the top back on. Which way does it go?
This way.
Really? Put it on there.
This way.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Lines up really nicely. All the plastic meets up perfectly. So now we have 6 screws left and 6 screw holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Well, which one do we have to use?
Again, these are the security screws. So we're done with that screw. So we need the security screw. So now with these, I'll just push them in there, and sometimes they just line up with the hole, and I tighten them. Now these, especially with the fragile plastics, the brittler plastic or the yellow plastic, you got to be very careful when you're tightening it to kind of just lightly tighten them, or else you can break the plastic really easy. They don't have to be super tight. So now I'll just drop it in there, line it up.
Where does this one go?
Remember, where's the 6 holes go? Yep. Yep. We got one in here, one in here. We need one in there. So he's going to drop it in there. And then when you look in there, that looks like it lined up with the hole. And we're just going to tighten it. I'm just using 2 fingers. So I'm pushing down with my hand a little bit to push it, snug it. And then I'm just tightening with 2 fingers. And that's all it needs, just a 2-finger technique.
This one?
Yep. Oh. Next one.
This one goes here.
Sure. Nice drop. Feels like it went into the hole. Nice. Nice 2-finger technique. Snug, not too tight, just nice and snug. Perfect.
And then...
Where's our last one? Take a look.
Here.
Perfect. Put the last screw in there. And I'll let you do it. So with you, because you're a little weaker than me, you're probably going to have to use 2 hands. So 1 hand to push on the top and 1 other one to twist. There we go. There we go. Remember, keep it lined up or else it'll skip. Don't want it too tight.
Tight.
Let me see. Perfect. Okay. Let's see. No more screws. None of them are coming out. Everything seems to be working. Should we test it? Okay. Grab it and let's go test it. Plug it in. See if you fixed it. Okay, so No. Front has controller ports. Back has power and audio video. Most systems have to be plugged into the back. Line it up with the AV. Push it in there, nice and snug.
Okay, and then this one. The other side.
No. All-in-one AV cable, so it has different connectors for different systems. So this has an AV for Super Nintendo, 64, GameCube. So I use this one. All those other ones are for PlayStation, PlayStation 2, PS3, and this one's for Xbox. So now we need a power. It's down here. So this is a multi-use power supply. 2 power supplies. One for Super Nintendo, this is Super Nintendo, and one is for the NES or the Nintendo Entertainment System. So we need the super plug. Yep. You gotta plug it in. Be gentle. We just fixed it, so I don't want you to break it. Push them. Nowhere, because that's part of the same power supply. So power, AV, that's all we need. Now we need to put a game in it or it won't work. Do you have a game? Where? Do you know what a Super Nintendo game looks like? No. Can you maybe guess? Just to let you know, Daddy has a drawer full of test games in here. But
These ones?
No. NES games, Nintendo Entertainment System, we need Super Nintendo Entertainment System.
These ones.
No, that is 64.
These ones?
That is Sega.
These ones. These ones.
Those ones, yes, those are Super Nintendo. Here. So instead of having to pull the ones off the shelf, come here. Like Daddy said, he has a drawer full of them. There's also some over here because I'm processing some. Okay. But Daddy has a Super Nintendo game in here. It's the one that I was using, remember? Put it in. Looks a little crooked. Looks a little crooked.
This way?
You had it going the right way. Yep. You don't need to put your finger in there. You just need to put the system in. And then push really hard, and make it nice and snug in there. And then that releases it. Remember what that is? Push it in there, really snug. 2 hands, there we go. And if you get it in there really snug, and you hit the power supply, or power up, we should see a red dot, and we should see the game work. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, you broke it again. Gotta get it snug. Boop.
Daddy.
Okay, press the power supply. I snugged it in there. Do. So, is this finished? No. Check the power or the controller ports. So we need a controller and then we need to test it. Do you know where Daddy's controllers are?
No.
Okay. The bottom drawer right here. Woo! Tigger! No, that's PlayStation. I just put this back here.
Okay.
All right, ready, controller?
Uh-huh.
All right, you're gonna plug it in right here. Push it in all the way. Hold that. I'm gonna get a controller.
You're gonna play too.
Yeah, well, there's 2 ports.
You gotta take the headband off.
Oh, the rubber band?
Yeah.
We'll take the rubber band off. All right. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
2 players. Okay, go. Right there. Yeah, okay. Now pick your character. Alright. So before we do anything, we have to test all the buttons on these. You ready? So hit this one, press A. Good. B. Y. Yep, and then X. And then you're gonna hit right trigger. Right trigger. Perfect. Left trigger. Alright, now hold down. Left. Right. Up. Jump. Start. Hit start again. Alright, select doesn't do anything in this game, but that tests the majority of these buttons. All those buttons seem to work. That means this controller port works. Now we fight. You ready? Alright. Good job.
Oh.
You fixed that. Good job. If she can do it, you guys can do it. Watching this repair video, don't forget to... This is a repair video. Thanks for watching this repair video. Jordyn did the majority of the work. Good job, honey. Great job. I hope you guys learned a little bit of something. What do you have to say? A little camera shy. I know, I hope you guys just don't forget to repair on.